And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Aesop Grim here, and this is the continuation of my blind playthrough of RDR2 in 2025. Gosh, just with that intro, I gotta tell you, I'm thankful that my voice kind of sounds a little bit normal to me. It still feels like right now I'm going to mute mic and clear my throat. But it has been a few weeks now where my voice just kind of felt thin and raspy, kind of, you know? So it's nice to be a little bit closer to what I would consider normal. I'm recording this pretty late. It's like 11:30 at night on Tuesday. This is your Wednesday episode. My sleep schedule has been wild lately. For those of you who've watched my channel for any time, I do this thing called Rock Around the Clock, where I just end up waking up and going to sleep at different hours, and right now it's pretty extreme. I'm on a fairly inverted schedule for most people. Pardon me, I had to mute mic there. And what that translates to is that I'm kind of rushed. As I wake up at a different time than the rest of the world, I got to go and get things done for the day. Like I had to go shopping today and get food. I had to eat dinner. I tried to listen to some news about what's going on. And played a little bit of World of Warcraft, where I'm leveling up a new character, a new hunter on a new server, Classic WoW, as me and my guild have started up on a new server in anticipation of TBC Classics release in the future. So I did that a little bit. And I've got this video to record, and then I'm planning on jumping into Elite Dangerous and playing with my brother tonight. We're having some pretty good fun there. So you kind of, that's going to be like 2 a.m. my time, so I'm trying to show you, kind of paint the picture of how really more compressed my schedule is than typical. So it's nice then, given what I just told you, that it's this game I'm jumping into, because this game is a relaxed pace. The entire mood of the game forces me to kind of just slow down and let things develop. Hold on. I really am, like, my voice is warming up, so I got to clear my throat again. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Alrighty then, guys, what are we going to do today? I think we were going to go do Sadie's quest. Pretty sure that's what the plan was. Yeah, looks like, oh, no, wait a minute. We got Charlotte, and I know we got something right here in Saint Denis too. I really want to do those before moving on with Sadie. I just have a feeling that when we do this quest, it's going to push the chapter forward. So here we go. We're going to go up here and talk to Charlotte. And boy, we have a return of law and order in this country. This nation is thoroughly infiltrated by communists. I'm going to lump communists and socialists into the same group because they tend to ally with each other. Vladimir Lenin once said socialism is just like an initial step towards the inevitability of communism. Those two are very, very, very related. And then we have the second group are the shills, the people that just want to make money. So they'll stick their finger in the air and see which way things are blowing, who has the power, and they are totally willing to do whatever those people say as long as they get paid. Those two things are at work in this country. And so this effort that has happened in Los Angeles, I believe I explained to you guys before. I don't know for sure if I did on here or not, but these are fake protests. These are not real protests. This is a deep state operation. We are now learning that it was about 2 years in the making at least. It takes a lot of time. I'm familiar, being in the military, I'm familiar with the feel of how this kind of stuff gets done. It takes a lot of time to lay down the groundwork, to get the infrastructure in place, to know who your heavy hitters are, who the main players are that you can count on whenever things get tough, and get them into positions of power and influence. And it takes a whole lot to funnel black money or dark money, whatever you want to call it, they're the same thing, into slush fund accounts to finance this. And we are now learning that the state of California bankrolled this operation with taxpayer dollars, something like 45. I've heard a couple percentages that I'm not I'm probably fuzzy on a little bit of the context. Let's speed up a little bit, sorry. 45 to 70% of the funding is from California, the California government, with taxpayer dollars. The union is heavily involved. They're one of the main players. They're not at the very top, but they're definitely helping a lot. People with the Teamsters and stuff like that. We just caught a guy that was mass supplying face masks to rioters, and he was a union member, and he's a member of a paramilitary Latino organization. But most of the people on the street are professional agitators, and they're getting paid up to $12,500 a week to sit by a beeper and to come in and do high risk, high reward work. For that kind of scratch. They get paid regardless of whether or not they're called up or not. But if they are called up, they got to be ready to go, and there's risk to it. But they also have an entire team of lawyers in the background that are very good, and also a two-tier justice system being run by the certain key components of state police and governance. And that's how, going all the way back to the George Floyd riots, you are seeing, and J6, by the way, you are seeing these people get arrested and taken to jail, but then they're released on bail very quickly, or no bail at all. They almost never seem to pay any consequences. You just don't hear about it anymore, and it's because the legal systems are in place and the funding is in place to get them off scot-free, or as close to scot-free as you can get. But Trump raised the stakes, bringing in military, and especially bringing in active duty Marines. They didn't count on that. And every conceivable outlet that the left could get their hands on, especially media, was out there decrying that Trump had overstepped his bounds and that military wasn't needed, that the LAPD had things under control. Had things under control, they were getting bricked and their cars were on fire. They're just blatantly lying. This is what I mean when the left just operates off narrative. They never, ever, ever tell you the truth. Never. All they do is spin you a story, and then they repeat that story over and over and over again, just like old Soviet tactics where they would take a man downstairs into a cellar, hold up 2 fingers, ask him how many fingers he's holding up. The man would answer 2, and they'd punch him. And they would keep that up for hours and hours and hours until the guy finally started lying and saying, 3 fingers, you're holding 3 fingers up. Yeah, that's correct, comrade. Right? That is their entire design, is to get you to don't pay attention to your lying eyes. You don't pay attention to those eyes that are lying to you. You pay attention to us. We tell you the truth. This is a very old tactic. It's a very old playbook. This is why I say they're not progressive at all. They're regressive. They are dinosaurs. They are slowly going the way of the bison. They have old ideas that belong to a modernist world. We are in a postmodern America. They are a relic. There's nothing about them that is cutting edge. Nothing. Everything is known. Their whole playbook. Over a century old. But they sure believe that they're cutting edge revolutionaries. And we are smashing them on this. We now know, we're starting to map out all of their funding. We know the California state government is involved. We know of groups like Churla which I forget what that acronym stands for, and PSL, which is the People for Socialism and Liberation. It's a straight-up communist group here in America. Those people have been providing funding. There's a man named Singham, a billionaire, who shills for the Chinese Communist Party to do these kinds of things, probably not just here in America, probably all over the world, I would imagine. And that's why he's a billionaire, because he's willing to act against the safety and liberty of his fellow citizens for a nice hefty payout. These people are scumbag swine. Complete dirtbags. I call them ex-humans. They're traitors to humanity. I think they have more in common with demons than with humans. I think they sold their soul for money, power, and influence. Hey, we got unopened mail. So that whole thing got blown up. That was, I'm telling you, that was a test case for them. 2 years in the making, at least. Safe ground. It's their home base for a lot of stuff. Karen Bass has a background in all of this for multiple decades. Very well trained and in the right position to pull all this stuff off and help them pull the strings together. L.A. was ground zero. If they could win there, they were going to roll this out all over the place. Well, they're going to roll it out anyway. It's already been paid for. And they are. There's stuff going on in Chicago right now. And in other cities. Dallas had a big pedophile ring caught. I'm not sure if that's related to the protests. And so, but we blew it up in LA. They ran hog wild over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The protests are still going on, but it has really, really fizzled out. People are not taking anywhere near the risks that they were starting on Monday. Trump smashed that, and we're gonna do the same thing elsewhere. New York is starting to see police start to act more like New York City police. It's been a long time. Welcome back. I'm glad you found your balls. You know, that's easy for me to say from the comfort of my chair. Understand, these people are operating under situations where their pensions are at risk. It's the people that are in charge over them that are calling the shots on this. So it's very difficult to be a good cop. So, in these places that are taken over like this is all subversion. It's very clever. And the CIA has worked on these color revolution tactics for decades on end, and Obama removed the protections for America, meaning that they could employ them here at home, and they have. So this is what we're up against. But boy, we are exposing it. The FBI is now investigating groups like Chirla and PLS. We are chasing down. We got a civilian. I think she's a civilian. On X.com, Data Republican, who is just outstanding at just going through public research records and being able to connect dots. You know, that chick should be an analyst. That my personal opinion. That chick should get paid for what she's doing. She should be a professional analyst for the CIA. As we take these institutions back. Or maybe for the FBI. I'm just not a big fan of the CIA. I don't like the idea of meddling in other nations' affairs, and that's my impression primarily of what the CIA is for. I think it had its place in the Cold War and was very useful and needed and heroic even. Smuggling people out, risking their lives. You know, to get defectors out safely so that we could get intelligence and they could get a life of freedom. But it feels like they're outdated now. I don't have any love for the idea of meddling in other nations' affairs and trying to subvert them and get governments into our favor. To me, it all reeks of globalism, but neither can you be isolationist. So I don't really know. I at some point in time reached the limit of my knowledge, and I can really only give an uninformed opinion. And you know what they say about those, you know. So I don't know. But to me, it seems like the CIA is kind of out of place and out of time. Yeah. Anyway, Trump threatened that these other nations, or not other nations, these other cities that are experiencing this fake rent-a-riot rollout op that clearly has the fingerprints of the deep state all over it, that those people will face the same consequences or harsher. And this is why he's my guy, man. This is why I voted for this dude. Trump is willing to escalate all the way to the ultimate price. The man got shot at and attempted assassinations on him on more than one occasion, and got up and screamed, "Fight, fight, fight." This is my dude. Screw you if you think otherwise. I don't care. For some of you, it's respectfully so. Like you know, for example, I've got a viewer from Portugal that he has a different opinion on Trump. He's not a huge fan, you know. And with all due respect, you're a European, and you get a certain slant from your news. So I'm in favor of people holding their opinions, and we don't have to be in a fight with each other at all. We have more in common than we don't. The guy I'm referencing seems to me to be overall conservative, right? So here, I'll get back into it. Okay, hold on just a second. I need to wrap that up, though, before I move on, because he's a viewer of mine. I want to make sure that he understands. So for that, I have tremendous respect. If you're very much orange man bad and you're against Trump, and but you're fairly conservative in the other areas and stuff, you're totally entitled to your opinion, and I have no ill will towards you. It's these leftist liberal goons that are like, this is the worst guy since Hitler. You don't know anything about Hitler if that's your position. You know nothing. Shut the hell up. Go read a history book. My God. It's the Holocaust, for goodness sake. How can you be so devoid of understanding? Everything out there that disagrees with you, you call fascist. You're an idiot. I have no respect for you for whatsoever. And I tend to believe that you're the type of person that gets people killed. Like good people, innocent people, because you're stupid.
How hard can it be?
Uh-oh. Oh, she's practicing.
How you feeling, man?
Much better than I felt in a long time. If we hadn't caught that rabbit, I don't think I'd have made it another day.
You look better.
Better and determined, thanks to you. And if I'm gonna learn to hunt, I figured it was time I learned how to use Cal's gun properly.
How's that working out for you?
Well, let's just say my prey is looking decidedly unscathed.
Oh, all right. They actually
At the end of
animated it
labor
where
is to
it
gain
kicked back on her
leisure.
shoulder real
Is that
hard.
not what Aristotle said?
Well, I don't know much about Aristotle, but well, I know a thing or two about shooting a gun. Look, you gotta hold steady, firm. You just focus, breathe slowly, and always pull the trigger on empty lungs. Here, I'll show you. Okay. Calm and steady. Don't snatch at the trigger.
Poor condition. Okay. Shoot a single shot.
You make it look so easy.
All right. You try now. Remember to breathe. Focus on the inhale. Shoot on the exhale. My turn. I'll shoot a few more this time.
Shoot 3 bottles, okay. Aim weapon with the right trigger.
Looks like you need some practice yourself. Wretched rat is back. Over there, you see? It's been a thorn on my side ever since we moved here. Kill it, please.
Shoot the rat. Oh, she hates the rats, huh? Where's it at?
It got away. I told you it was fast.
Oh man, it's nighttime. It's gonna be real difficult to... Good job, kiddo.
What can I say? Thank you. But I still have some of the rabbit left that I salted up. Would you join me for a meal? It's the least I can do.
Sure.
Go ahead and take a seat at the table. Food is just about done.
All right.
Well, it's good and hot. I hope you enjoy it. You helped me to catch it, after all. Bon appetit.
Huh?
Please enjoy. And thank you again for everything.
Huh?
I really am grateful.
It was nothing.
You're a good man.
Oh, you don't really know me.
I know enough. There's always more to find in ourselves. You helped me to see that. My husband, Cal, was such an optimist. I found that to be very contagious. But there's a fine line between optimism and naivete.
Mm-hmm.
We were both born with a silver spoon. Banquets, butlers, valets.
Sounds terrible.
It was just so many people, so many things. I was lost in it. I was crushed by it. My father was very overbearing. Then we came out here and I got crushed by this. You know, I pictured myself picking fresh vegetables, sipping
Did she
homemade
doctor
wine,
his soup?
writing a great novel. But I turned out to be a far more pathetic anti-heroine than any I could ever pen.
Oh, well. I reckon you're gonna be just fine.
Are you all right? Can I get you some water?
No, I'm fine. I just,
No, he's just sick. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for this. I think it's best if I make...
Stay right there. It's gonna be okay.
No, it's really not, and you don't need to be getting too close.
My dear Arthur, I have gone out hunting. Not a phrase I thought any pen of mine would ever ink, but nonetheless one I am very proud to finally be able to write. I am so very grateful to you for all the help and encouragement you've given me. There is some money in a box on the nightstand. Please take it. I have far more than I need back in the city, and I'd like you to have it. Please take care, and remain true to the man I know you are.
Yep, keep that one. That was a sweet letter. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here. While she's out and away. Okay, so I haven't gotten finished with. Oh, look, another one popped up. Marco Dragic. I guess that was there before. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how things unfold tonight. Hearing the news tomorrow. I don't think that this is... I don't have any delusions that this is all squashed. I don't even know how it's going to go. Maybe we won round 1 and they win round 2. I'm not sure. But I'm enjoying watching it unfold. And I am of the mind that since about 2010, when the right woke up to what was going on and that there was a culture war, that the left had been openly and aware that they were involved in for years, that the right has been winning steadily in general. You know, if you were to look at how many wins and losses and tally them up for each side, the right is the one that's in clear-cut control. And it's not the right politicians. It's not the various parties. We're talking about this is happening in the population. And it just seems like every day more people leave the left and start at least entertaining opening up a dialogue with the right and finding out how they actually think about things rather than demonizing us. And that's just good to see. So, I'm very optimistic. I feel really good. I don't know if optimistic is the right word to use. I'm very pleased with how things are going. I voted for all of this, and I'm not anywhere near to a fascist, or racist, or bigot, or any of that other BS that you guys throw around so haphazardly, so carelessly, so childishly. You destroy the meaning of words.
Good work, pal.
Alright. This guy's got electricity going.
Hello?
I should have eaten
Is
something.
anybody here?
IRL, I just got done eating. I had steak and potatoes and asparagus. It was pretty good.
If you are here to rob me, I wish to make clear that I have weapons that could liquefy each of your internal organs in turn and leave you just a puddle on the floor.
Professor, I ain't here to rob you. It's me. I helped you at the pond.
You did? Oh, you did. The buffoon. Hello.
Hello. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Of course you are disturbing me, buddy. I almost solved biggest problem and you mess it up.
Did?
No, but I did. I can't get the bloody conductor straight. What? Well, it is the geometry of life, the grand theory of power. It's the grand theory of theories. There is just one more big problem. Maybe I solve it, but can't get it right.
I don't understand.
Of course you don't. Help me adjust these things, and I will show you what I mean. Here, take these.
Oh, well, I'm not much of a scientist.
Well, you are an American. Science is far beyond you. But
Oh my
you make
gosh.
a fine buffoon. Go.
You make a fine buffoon. Man, shoot this guy in the head and be done with it.
The detector in your hand. The filament flashes when it points at the locations for conductors. Follow flashes up in hills and plant conductor rod where filament goes solid. When all three conductors in place, lightning strikes the rods, and we harness power of nature to make life.
Okay. I'm guessing it's right up here where this lightning bolt just touched down, which is a little bit risky for us. Oh boy.
That's it. Okay, now find the position for the second conductor. You're doing a bang-up job. Remember, this for the good of all mankind. You're better than my last decision. I hope you live longer too.
All right. We should be getting close. So we can move a little bit faster when we have the trigger pulled and the sprint button held down.
You're there. Slow down and one to go. And you're not dead.
no.
Good, good. It's growing! Marvelous! Fantastical! Return to the left.
Here we go.
History is ours. A momentous occasion. The mysteries of nature and life. Glorious day!
Oh, I thought he let us out on this side. Must have been this door right here.
Wonderful! I wish I ever went to school so I had a clue what was going on. What now?
Well, now, I become the second creature after God himself to bring life to this earth. Like this.
Am I missing something?
Ah, the switches, the bloody switches. Okay, climb up there and adjust them for me. Go quick, please.
Alright, here we go. Where's the ladder at? There it is. This is gonna be interesting, at least.
Damn it. What I got myself into.
I'm curious to see how this goes. We got a Dr. Frankenstein kind of experiment going.
The switches are on a circuit. Flick one switch on the array, and another might go off. You want the 3 illuminations. So flick the switches till that is the outcome.
Just tell me, what goddamn one of these things to pull?
I am an invisible web engineer, not an electrical technician. Okay?
You better hope I ain't fried up here.
Okay, so we gotta find out what order these things go in. Toggle switches until all the lights turn on. Alright, let's first try everything in the down position. Alright, so that didn't work. And it seems to... They're all slaved together, so you change one and it changes the others. So we'll go right. What happens if I hit this again? Ah, okay, there's a lot of combinations here. Okay, that's everything in the up position. Well, 2 of them lit up, so it looks like they all need to be placed in the down position. How do we get to that point? Now if I pull this down, the other 2 are going to go up, right? Yes. Okay. And if I pull this down, that one goes up. What if I hit it again? Okay, so there's a toggle right there. So we got the middle one in the down position. Okay, so now if I toggle this, we would get the middle one to drop, and that's 2 out of 3. Oh, there we go, 3 out of 3. Because the other one went down also. Okay. I figured it out on accident. sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
It's working. It's working. Come down here, quick.
Alright. Not sure about the wisdom of all this. Wisdom and intelligence are two different things. Think of it as horsepower and effective horsepower. You may be smart as all get out. You may have a supercharged high horsepower engine up there in your old noggin. Oh my goodness. But if you don't have the wisdom to practically apply it in practical ways in life, then that's just like horsepower not reaching the tires. It's all wasted.
Are you ready?
Sure. Second time lucky, eh?
Second time? More like 7,000th. This is my life's work. It is incredible.
A robot
What?
man.
He lives! My son lives!
What is it?
It is life itself. The morons who doubted me. It is me and you. Look at him. Isn't he wonderful?
Is that it?
For now. I am so happy. Oh, you just saw creation's second birth.
I just saw a machine waddle a few steps.
I have a son. I am the luckiest man alive. Those morons, they doubted me.
I'll see you later.
Yes, yes. Goodbye.
All that achievement and nobody to share it with. Alrighty then. Well, now we know why it was called a bright bouncing boy. So yeah, that's talking about the horsepower analogy. That's kind of what I think about liberals. A lot of the liberals that I've met in my life, well, I don't know. It's like anybody else. They're not. What I'm trying to say is I've met a lot of smart liberals, but what I'm not trying to say is that they have an overrepresentation of smart people in their area. They do not. They got a bunch of knuckleheads also. It's like any other group. You got your smart people and you got your stupid people. But even the smart ones, I find, are foolish. I don't know if that's the right word to use. They might not be. They have false presuppositions which lead them down inevitabilities that end up being increasingly false. The further along you take that line of thought, any given line of thought, you know? So sometimes that's because of foolishness, and sometimes that's just because once you get on a certain track of thinking, there's a few things that are going to follow on from that, and you're more, it's just a sense of inevitability. You're going to inevitably reach this conclusion on this situation and that conclusion on that situation, and they're all wrong because your presuppositions were wrong. That right there isn't so much necessarily foolishness as it is kind of almost deterministic, like predetermined outcomes. But the false presupposition that was begun with, where you choose what to believe in at your most baseline fundamental levels, that's where you could say foolish or wise, naive or informed. All right.
Yep.
So my experience has been most liberals tend to be in that foolish and naive category, no matter how smart they are. We are going to head down south. Wait, what is this little symbol right here? I do not know. I'm not going to stop to find out either. We're coming down to Saint Denis, in like this area. Oh, there must be wolves nearby, or a wolf man. Yep. I hear ya.
Yep.
There we go. Anything else in there? I'm from the land of shoot first and ask questions later when it comes to stuff like this. Well, that was quick. That's the quickest skinning job I've seen. There you go, bud. Sorry. Talking about the animal. Alright, Mowgli, or whatever your name is. So, probably abandoned out here as a kid or something like that. And raised by wolves is what the story would be here. And if we hadn't been such a bloodthirsty killer, we could have found out about that. But alas, I don't trust humans that act like animals. And I ain't trying to put my life on the line finding out about curiosities. Look, it's the world's first furry. 1899. Alright, well, he ate like a dude. He's got drying racks out. He's got a tent. Had. Gotta speak about him in the past tense now.
What have we here?
I thought I heard another wolf. Holy smokes, this is a lot to go through. 1881. Would have been about, what, 9 years ago? Went on a hunting trip with Dad. Yeah, I don't care enough. Don't care enough, guys. Here, tell you what. if you want to read this story, there you go. October 22nd, October 29th. You just pause it. November 15th. Big one on November 15th. December 3rd. Christmas Eve. And January 1st. Looks like he was out there starving. Okay. There you go. Canned fruit. Opened health cure. Kentucky bourbon. Carrot. That reminds me. We should eat. All right. Another one. He's still alive. Man, you got full frontal nudity going on here. Looks like I win. We'll just make sure about that.
Yep.
Off we go.
Yeah.
What else is going on? Here's something that I barely know anything about. I just saw a blurb on it. I haven't looked into it at all, but it looks like Elon and Trump are getting along again. I don't think that Elon's part of the inner circle anymore and is not going to be. That to me makes sense. Elon at the end of the day is not a conservative. He's a center leftist. But he's one of the guys, you know, if I'm sitting in Trump's seat, if I'm trying to look at things like he looks at them, I might not embrace Elon as a lifelong friend. But Elon, regardless of whether he agrees with me politically or not, is one of the kinds of Americans that I want to invest and open doors for, to get innovation going again. But not in the sense of we're going to like do special favors for you. That's like bribery, right?
Yeah.
That you just bought me. If that's what we're doing. And that's not good for America. So I was real happy to see well, Elon appeared to me to be trying to leverage what he thought was his influence in the American government to get things that would personally benefit him and his company. I have serious doubts that Elon would view it that way. I think Elon would see it as the nation investing in science and pushing real science and pushing things forward in innovation and American innovation again. I think that's what how Elon would see it, but it would, from what I understood the argument was over, is that the things in the bill that Elon opposed were things that were not giving him special benefits, and he was trying to harness political influence to shut that bill down as a result. Well, in my opinion, Trump was right then to go ahead and sever ties and tell you, no, that's not how it works. The people didn't elect me in order to give you special benefits, and you're not going to get special favors that other citizens don't get. That is the definition of corruption and a sellout. And I would imagine that Elon probably now understands that. He's very eccentric. I think he's used to getting his way. He's a driven individual. I've often said that the things that govern your best traits are also the things that hold you prisoner. There's like an opposite side. There's a light side and a dark side, right? This is true of everybody, in my opinion. It's just like a general fundamental human truth. And, or think of it as a double-edged sword, you know? So, I think Elon is probably used to getting himself into trouble because maybe he doesn't govern his emotional reaction in the moment very well. He might have some impulse control problems. Those are the same things that has him sleeping on factory floors for 3 weeks trying to solve an engine problem to keep a company going and to come up with new innovative ideas. Those things actually happened, right? So so I don't judge Elon for it. At the same time, you can't have somebody like that gaining too much influence within the government if there's even the perception of impropriety, is that the right word? Now, you can't bow down to the left. They're going to see Hitler around every corner. Those people are crazy. They've been made crazy. I have a lot of love and appreciation for liberal and even leftist people. I really believe that they're high energy, they're very passionate, they want to be part of something good and noble. They just got their guns pointed in the right way. So if we can unshackle them from the propaganda, they could be of great use. And I've mentioned before on my videos that, you know, it took me a little while to know this about myself, but I am definitely someone who seems to operate like a light switch. Once you cross over the threshold and you realize kind of what I would describe as the error of your ways, and you come to a look at Anna Kasparian right now, of the Young Turks. I'm really excited to see her reach some realizations on some things that are very common sense and to be honest with herself. I have a lot of respect for that. And not to be weird or anything, but Anna Kasparian is a pretty woman who did not look pretty to me. She looked more ugly previously because of who she was on the inside. But whenever you see her hold herself accountable and be intellectually honest and take the difficult stances, a mature stance, all of a sudden she looks amazing, you know? And so I'm using that, which admittedly is a bit of a weird example. I'm not trying to be a weirdo, but you could use that as an example of kind of how I operate. As soon as I see that you're sincere in making a change for the better, and you've unshackled from the propaganda, and you're no longer working for knuckleheaded things where they tell you you're fighting for humanity, but you're actually just hurting us, and you're enabling child trafficking, and you're enabling more criminality, and you're enabling women to get beat up in sports, and you're enabling women to get raped on the streets on their way home, more crime and all that. When you unshackle from all that, Now all of your good virtues get highlighted for me and you're welcomed with open arms. But up until that point, my gun's pointed against you. And I have no qualms pulling that trigger. We're talking metaphorically speaking. But if we were to get into a real war, this is also how I operate. If you are on the wrong side, I don't care. I have no empathy or compassion or sympathy for you whatsoever that you're just there because you're hoodwinked. No. Because of the cost. It doesn't matter to me that you're basically a victim. I don't care. I don't give a flip. The actions that are proceeding from what you are investing your energy into are hurting the most innocent and vulnerable people in the world.
Excuse me, sir. Can I bother you for a minute of your time?
And so I'm about getting you under control and out of the way by any means possible. It needs to be legal, but this is how I feel. So there really is, like with me, there's like this threshold that as long as you're on this side, that side of the line, I'm totally against you. And I'll speak like that. My rhetoric will be, you're an idiot, you're anti-human, I don't trust you, I hope all the bad things come on you, I hope you get the karma that you deserve. Whenever I found a picture of Greta Thunberg on her way to Gaza, I think I found the neo-Nazis that you're looking for, dumbass. But the moment that you unshackle yourself from that and you cross lines and you start realizing, holy smokes, I've been really pouring my energy and emotion and effort and zeal into something that's not good for anybody, then it instantly evaporates for me, and I'm really excited to work with you. You know? So that's my take on liberals. A lot of smart people there, very foolish in my opinion, but with great hope that the more that we can rip apart the Der Stürmer propaganda arm of the protect our democracy, in quotes, air quotes, left, the more potential that we have to win some of these people over. And that's exactly what has been happening for years. And I'm just real happy about it. Let's see, it's daytime. I forgot what I was going to do. We're going to go shoot some big game. And then we're going to build a campfire and we're going to cook that big game up. I remember I've got mint and oregano on me. Let's see if we can find a three-star alligator. Where are we at? Oh, we're up over an hour, guys. Darn it. Okay, so we've made it to here. This will have to be in the next episode. I need to find an alligator first. I think I see one. What do we have here? Carbine repeater, Springfield. It's a 1-star. That's a little alligator. Okay, let's go to the map. And like here basically. Well, I don't really want to make that ride. Not now that we're up over an hour. I think we'll just make camp. And cook what I got on hand. Let's see, is there anything else I've seen? Mostly it's just been identifying and mapping out the what's the word that I can't seem to think of the word. The funding of these fake riot psyops. These paid riot. I don't want to call it a fake riot. The left's talking about that a little bit too. They're claiming this isn't a real riot, or they were, You know, well, no, it's a real riot. It's just that these are paid crisis actors and paid muscle. So it's not organic, and it doesn't represent the population. That was another thing I saw that was real encouraging to me. I know that there's a brand of politics out there. I always forget its name, where the politicians employ this, and what it is it is to find or invent wedge issues in a society so that you keep the population fighting itself and at each other's throats, so that they're too busy with that to pay attention to what you're getting away with, and they never unite against you. So I like to see things like what I saw the New York Post put up. They went and started surveying, and this is backed up by nationwide polls too. Like LA residents, especially the Mexican American population there, they're overwhelmingly against these riots, these rioters. They're for border control. I just recently learned that the strongest demographic for border control in America are recent immigrants. I thought it was black people. Previously, that's at some point in time, black people had reached that point that they were the largest, the most stringently in favor of border control demographic in the nation, that to the point that they wanted even legal immigration shut down, right? But apparently it's been taken, it's now the newly immigrant, the legal immigrant demographic. And I guess that makes sense because they don't want to be demonized. And you better believe that whenever you start holding two-tier justice systems, that fosters prejudice and racism. It does. It makes it so that you get people out there who are so fed up, they just don't care if you're legal or illegal. We want you out of here. Well, that's not correct. That's bad, bad, bad. And we want to avoid that. So I was really heartened to see the New York Post put this article up that indicated just exactly that. Most Los Angeles, I guess they call them Angelinos, are not behind this. Most Americans are certainly not behind it. That's another lie that the leftist media is out there telling you. I think Rachel Maddow was talking about that. No, polling shows you are exactly wrong on that. And so does the landslide electoral win. CNN has been, they got a stats guy that's been doing a bang-up job lately showing the drift of popularity on issues regarding border control and deportation and illegal immigration with Trump from 2016 to now. All of it has gone up by enormous numbers as far as approval. Okay. There we go. Well, we're going to leave, and we're going to tear down this camp, because in the next episode, we're going to start out trying to find a 3-star alligator while we wait for the sun to go down and then go talk to the mayor. All right, you probably need to be cleaned. So we'll brush you 3 times.
Hey, stay calm now.
Hey, man, brush again. 1 more time. There you go. All right, and then we're going to feed you twice. I'm going to feed you 3 times.
Here, boy. Enjoy.
All right, what are our statuses? Boom, boom, boom. Underweight, of course. It's going to be like that forever now, I think. Well, thin, clean and calm. So let's feed him another 3 times.
Yeah. Eat this, boy. Yeah.
All right, hopefully that works out.
Come on now, boy.
We'll save it. We're at an hour 10. That's a little bit longer than I normally go. Had a lot to talk about today, actually. I was a little surprised. But that was big news, that we're uncovering all of the financial vectors, and we're finding out not just who's doing this on the ground, who's guilty of accepting paychecks to go out there and target cops and raise Cain, but who's financing it, who's organizing it. And the FBI has said those people are under investigation. I hope that we're able to put some people in jail. But even just simply chasing this down and giving opposition is a step forward for this nation right now. Like I said, we're highly infiltrated. So we're fighting back at least, and we're getting a lot of big wins in my opinion. Did I just save it? I think I just did, but we're going to do it again anyway. 62.7%. All right, guys. Again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. God bless you wherever you're at. Good luck with the uphill challenges that you have. I do think that humanity has more in common than they have different. It's just that some of those differences are so important and have such large ripple effects that we necessarily have to fight each other on it. But from one human to another, even if we're opposed to one another right now, I can at least in this moment say, I wish you the best to you and yours in your life and whatever challenges you're facing. We're all facing challenges. So I'll see you in the next episode where this story continues.